Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how we make our steak marinade. This is something that we have been doing for many years. We keep the ingredients for this on hand at all times. If I run low on it, I put a restock on the grocery list so that we're never without these ingredients. So we usually try to do it the morning of. We'll lay out the meat out of the freezer the night before, and then the next morning we'll put it in the marinade, and then it'll marinate all day until my husband gets ready to grill it that night. So first we're going to start out with our flank steak. So this is a huge piece of meat, and we put this in the freezer from earlier in the month, I guess. We did, or earlier last month, we did a Sam's haul, and we bought some flank steaks and put them in the freezer. So I pulled one out for us to grill tonight. All I did was, sometimes when they thaw out, they get that blood in the bottom of the bag. So I just kind of poured that out. But you can always put it in a fresh bag or in a bowl or whatever you want to do. Okay, so this comes together really quickly. So it's just a matter of dumping all the ingredients into a little bowl. I like to use my measuring cup because I can pour it out. Whisk it all together, pour it in your Ziploc bag. Boom, you're done. So let me show you how I do it. First, I'm going to start out with half a cup of olive oil. Now I'm going to go in with half a cup of Worcestershire sauce, W sauce, whatever you want to call it. I will have the full recipe and the measurements down in the description of the video, if you don't catch the measurements. Half a cup of soy sauce. 1/3 of a cup of lemon juice. Fresh squeezed is always better, but I don't always have lemons on hand, but this is something easy for me to keep in the refrigerator. I'm going to add some garlic, or garlic is what I have. I'm going to add a heaping spoon of it. Now the rest of these I usually just kind of eyeball, but I put approximately 3 tablespoons of dried basil. About 1 to 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. 1 to 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. As much or as little red pepper flakes as you like. I don't do very much because my son and I don't like real spicy stuff. Some black pepper. Most of the ingredients we used have salt in them. The soy sauce, the Worcestershire sauce, all of that's pretty salty, but I use low sodium soy sauce, so I'm going to put in just a little bit of salt. I put in maybe half a teaspoon. And that's it, y'all. So now I'm just going to whisk it together. Alright, so I've got my flank steak in my bag, and again, if you're using sirloin steaks, ribeye steaks, New York strip steaks, just put them in a bag or in a bowl. I like the bags because once my husband takes them out, we can just throw the bags away. So now I'm just going to pour this in the bag. Now you want to kind of close it up and try to get as much of the air out of it as you can. And then I like to just take it and massage it in that meat. Because my flank steak's folded up in the bag a little bit, so I try to unfold it and massage it. Okay, and now that's ready. So a little tip for you guys, put your bags, if you're using a Ziploc bag, down in a bowl, because sometimes if your tops lay over, they might try to leak a little bit in your refrigerator. I've had that happen. I don't want it to happen again. So I like to put mine down in a bowl just to catch any drips. And throughout the day, I may go and flip it over or something. You don't have to. But sometimes if we're home, I'll go do that. So this is ready now. So it'll just sit in my refrigerator until about 30 minutes before my husband's ready to grill it. And then he'll take it out of the bag and put it on the grill. And sometimes he pours a little bit of the marinade on top just to kind of let it soak in while it's grilling. And then we usually will add maybe just a little additional seasoning just to have a little bit flavor crust on it. We like the Kinder's buttery garlic and herb for that. We've used all kinds of different seasonings, but that's one we do like. So anyway, so this is ready to go. I will try to do another video if I can of my husband grilling it and what it looks like afterwards. So I'll try to do that. I can't make promises, but I will try. Okay, I told y'all on the steak that I would show you once we got it done. There is, I don't want all my juices to run out. There's my steak. Y'all, that looks so good. So I'm gonna let it rest a couple of more minutes. It's been resting a few minutes already. I'm gonna let it rest a couple of more minutes and then we'll slice it across the grain and I'll show you what it looks like inside. And in case you don't know, cutting meat against the grain or opposite the grain makes it much more tender. And flank steak can be tough, but if you slice it thin against the grain, it's such a delicious piece of meat. So if you don't know what that means, I'm gonna see if I can show you. This thing's hot. If you try to pull on it, ooh, that's hot. I don't know if you could see where those, it was separating and those fibers were running long ways on that. Can you see that? So then what you're gonna do is figure out which way those are running, and then you're gonna cut the opposite way. Okay, let me show you a piece of my steak. Can y'all see how juicy that is? So that's a piece of that flank steak. It's probably a little more well done than what y'all would like, but it is still so juicy. Another piece for y'all. Can y'all see just how juicy that is? See how tender that is? Woo! And so much flavor on the outside of that. You don't need any kind of steak sauce with that. That marinade imparts so much flavor. And then what I do is I've got these juices on this pan here. And then I have some juices on my cutting board where I'm cutting it. So I'm going to put all my slices of steak back in that pan. Put all those juices back on it. And cover it up, you know, to keep it from drying out. And it'll kind of soak up some more of those juices, and it is so good. So good. Y'all have to try that steak marinade. Let me know if you try it. See you guys next time.